Hello everyone! Today I want to have a little bit of fun recording this video, and I want to show you how I use live draw features when facilitating hybrid and remote meetings. I talked about it a little bit in my previous video, but today I'll just focus on drawing. And my main goal is to do what I would normally do drawing on a whiteboard, but how will you do it on your digital whiteboard or on your screen share? And the advantage of going it digitally is that you can add any type of screenshots and you can draw on top of other pictures. Let's dive right in and I'll show you a few examples. So what I have here is just a blank PowerPoint slide. And I'll do another video using Mural and Visio, but today we'll just use PowerPoint. First of all, imagine that I'm just using a draw feature. And that's all I have. And that will illustrate how I would do things with a whiteboard, but on my screen share. So I could be using it to just draw a diagram. For example, I'll draw a few boxes as if I was doing a context diagram or concept model. I can connect them with arrows and I can write labels on them, right? And that can be done very quickly. Of course, you can also click and add text boxes in type, but you can also just draw. So that's one example. Another example is, and let me just create a new slide, is what if you are doing a mock-up or some changes to visual design? A simple way to do it is to just take a screenshot of whatever visual feature you want to use. You can drop it and then draw on top of it. For example, if I wanted to make some changes to the menu items or the flow, I could just drop, highlight this, and say delete, or simply cross it out. I can indicate what I want to change. I'm just going to use a different color here. For example, I can insert presentation, add some updates. For example, I want to add over here, I want to add my Pinterest icon and so on. So this is a very simple way of highlighting what needs to change. Another example would be using a diagram and adding some changes to your diagram. So let me take another slide. And sometimes you end up having to deal with diagrams created by someone else. So here I have a couple of images that I prepared. Imagine you took a screenshot or you have an image provided to you. And in this case, it's an image of a decision tree. And you are discussing it and perhaps validating it with your stakeholders during a virtual meeting. What can you do? Well, a couple of things. First of all, you can highlight something that needs clarification. For example, you aren't sure about this business rule. You could highlight it and then you can tag a person, for example, John, to confirm it. You can highlight the value that you think is changing. Perhaps it has to be now greater than $50 and this one is going to be less than. You can add a variety of comments. For example, if you're discussing customer types and you don't know what are the values, add a comment and ask what are those values. And perhaps again, there is another name of someone who needs to come back and confirm. You may also add another branch to this tree. Perhaps there is another option over here. Late payments in the last 12 months, maybe yes, no, or there is an additional rule. You can add it here. You can add and you can draw more. So this is a very simple way of taking a diagram and editing on top of it, even if you don't have a source file, or if you are not confident about making updates, or it's just much quicker. Let me take another diagram here. Here I have an extended use case diagram, which shows me how different roles use 3 existing systems to do their job: online ordering system, inventory management system, and delivery optimization system. So how you can use drawing live is when you discuss the scope of a project, you might want to indicate which of the use cases will be impacted. So let's just take another color and let's say that you are discussing phase 1 of the project. And in phase 1, what will happen, and maybe I'll just make my marker a little bit. Okay, you're going to say, well, we really want to work on this view menu feature. It needs to change. We need to change menu. So perhaps we are working on menu improvements. And to support it, we need to clarify our inventory management and ingredient request features. So in this way, you are highlighting what use cases are impacted, and as a result, what roles are going to be impacted. And these are all of the users that have access or use these use cases. And that's a really, really quick overview of phase 1. Of course, you can easily make another slide and take a copy of the same picture. And the benefit is that the picture is like a background. You can copy it easily, and then you'll say, okay, what about phase 2? In phase 2, we are going to work on purchase orders, because we have a big issue with purchase order management. And that's why we are highlighting this use case. We are highlighting procurement manager as an important role. And if I want to, as a part of a discussion, to indicate that there is another system that will be impacted in phase 2, I may draw another box and say, okay, this system will also be impacted, and this is where we are doing perhaps another use case, and I may give this use case a name. And that's it. That's very quick. You just draw in a couple of things on the board or on your virtual board or on your slides. You're doing a screen share, and you are creating live facilitation. You are creating a visual feed for your stakeholders so that it's easy for them to follow the conversation. I have another example here. And this is an example of say a promotional material. Maybe you're having a discussion about the structure of a product. And in this case, I just used an image of my workshop plan. Same thing. Maybe you're talking to a client and you want to understand which of these topics your client is interested in. For example, you're planning some training materials for your customer. So again, what you can do is say, okay, let me know which of these topics you're interested in. And maybe your client is talking and you're highlighting. You say, well, I really want to talk about stakeholder needs, business analysis needs. I don't think we need project team needs. We're good with this. We don't need to focus on project goals. So cross that out. Methodology, I think we're pretty clear on methodology. However, what you really want to focus on is business analysis process, how to do discovery phase. Oh, pretty much this whole part here. And let's talk about what can go wrong and how to prevent it. And here in a couple of minutes, I have visually highlighted what is most interesting for my customer. What are those topics they will be willing to pay for, and now I can take that away, and after the meeting is done, I can actually do my updates, because all my notes are literally captured here using 2 colors, red and yellow, or maybe green, or whatever color you like. So the beauty of this approach is that you don't need a lot of time Maybe you have a couple of images prepared, or you just take screenshots as you go. You can even have your stakeholders, participants in a meeting, drop little images in the chat if they are providing information. And you can grab that image, paste it on your screen share, and draw on top of it, put a couple of arrows on top of it, or text boxes, or even little comments, whatever is it that you like. And you already created a visual feed for your meeting, your live facilitation that helps everyone to keep track of what you are discussing. That's it for today. It's just a quick demonstration. Stay tuned for more videos like this.